You over them. Then in about fifth position is Princeful, the very well-backed favourite in fifth position early as they head over the second. Paddy's Return reached for that out very deep on the track, and behind them is Castle Sweep as they continue their journey downhill. With Castle Sweep is Mr. Percy in a gap then to Turnpole, heading towards flight number 3 in this long walk, and the leader to it is Deano's Beeno. Jumps out a little bit better. Cyborgo a bit extravagant at it. Jumping at second was Ocean Hawk. Then in about fourth position follows Princeful, followed out wider by Paddy's Return. Then Far and Near just behind them as they race into Swinley Bottom on the first occasion. Further back in the field then behind Far and Near is Ansem, who's travelling on the inside of runners at this stage. Also well back in the field is Castle Sweep in company with Mr. Percy, giving them a fair start, and Turnpole is last of all. Out of Swinley Bottom, and the leader on settling down, Deano's Beeno, by 5 lengths to Ocean Hawk. 3 away is Cyborgo, followed by Shooting Light and Princeful, and behind them is Paddy's Return, followed right there in the centre by Ansem at this stage. Then Far and Near, followed next in the field by Castle Sweep as the leader heads over number 4. Well back in the field behind Castle Sweep at this stage, Mr. Percy, and still last of all is Turnpole. The leader is setting a very fast clip. It's Deano's Beeno out in front here by the best part of 5 or 6 lengths, and increasing that advantage as he heads up the side of the course now towards flight number 5. Then in third place is Shooting Light, followed by Cyborgo in fourth. Half a length away is Princeful, followed next in the field by Ansem, and then Paddy's Return. Far and Near is right there in the centre. 2 lengths away is Mr. Percy, followed then by Castle Sweep, and last of all is Turnpole as they round the corner now in this Smurford long walk hurdle, and they go past the 2-mile peg, and the leader here is Deano's Beeno. Leads by about 4 or 5 lengths. Right there in the centre is Ocean Hawk, and then on the left, Shooting Light with the red blinkers. Up and handy fourth is Cyborgo with the blue sleeves as they head towards number 6. Behind them in the centre is Princeful, followed next in the field then by Castle Sweep over on the far side. Ansem is right there in the centre next as the leader heads over the one that'll be the last next time round. Turnpole made a slight mistake at the rear of the field. But racing up now with a circuit to go, and the leader here is Deano's Beeno by 2 lengths to Ocean Hawk. Half a length away, Shooting Light, getting closer on the inside. Cyborgo in fourth, followed by Princeful, and further back then is Ansem from Far and Near. Half a length out wider then is Paddy's Return from Castle Sweep. They're followed by Mr. Percy, and 2 lengths away is Turnpole, who's still at the tail of the field. Racing out of the straight now, and almost back where they started. Deano's Beeno, the Martin Pipe-trained hopeful, ridden by Tony McCoy, bidding to make every yard, and so far he's got a few of them struggling. Leads by 5 lengths as they race downhill now. Ocean Hawk in second, then in third is Shooting Light with the red blinkers on the left, followed then by Cyborgo. Further back in the field then Paddy's Return with the orange cap, just starting to make a little bit of ground now as they head to number 8, and Deano's Beeno headed over that one about 5 in front of Ocean Hawk in second. Princeful giving chase with the light blue sleeves and cap in third as they continue their journey down the side of the course. At the next, Deano's Beeno over it from Shooting Light, and further back Princeful in third. Ocean Hawk is being hard ridden and is losing his place at this stage. Castle Sweep behind them from Far and Near. Mr. Percy's made up a bit of ground. They're followed by Paddy's Return, who's very wide off the course. The last one down the side on the second occasion, and Deano's Beeno jumped it in the lead. Leads as they pass the mile by about 4 or 5 lengths. Shooting Light is in second. They're nicely clear then of Princeful, Mr. Percy, followed then back in the field by Castle Sweep, giving chase now from Paddy's Return. Ocean Hawk dropping out. A long gap to Turnpole. Forget about Far and Near. Ansem and Cyborgo, they've dropped right out. Coming out of Swinley Bottom now. They've got 4 flights left to jump in this Smurford long walk hurdle, and Deano's Beeno out in front and defying them. Leads by 2 lengths to Shooting Light. Half a length away, Princeful now is staying on well from Mr. Percy. Behind them, Castle Sweep. Paddy's Return gets reminders. 4 out now. It's Deano's Beeno jumps at 4 in front of Shooting Light. Mr. Percy is running on well. Princeful out very wide is coming under pressure now, and further back in the field, Castle Sweep. At the third last, though, it's Deano's Beeno, who's out in front here as they race up the hill towards the home turn. Deano's Beeno by 4 lengths to Princeful, who's staying on pretty well, followed then by Mr. Percy, then Shooting Light. They're about 10 or 15 lengths to Castle Sweep, and you can safely forget the rest. They're on the turn for home now in the Smurford Long Walk Hurdle, and Deano's Beeno by 4 lengths. Princeful is now grabbing hold of the bit again. He's giving chase, followed then by Mr. Percy. A long gap to Shooting Light, but rounding the corner, Deano's Beeno, Tony McCoy, leads by 5 or 6 lengths and given a slap with the whip. Princeful is still battling on. He refuses to give up. They're followed by Mr. Percy, and further back is Shooting Light. At the second last, Deano's Beeno comes towards it, lands over at 4 in front. Princeful is closing all the time. They're 5 lengths to Mr. Percy, and then Ocean Hawk, Shooting Light. One to jump. Deano's Beeno, the leader at the last, lands over a length and a half in front. Princeful will fall on Mr. Percy. 100 yards to go. Deano's Beeno a half in front, battling on well. Princeful is now starting to peg him back with every stride. Princeful is outstaying him as they run towards the line. What a mighty performance. Princeful gets up to win the long walk, half a length. Second is Deano's Beeno. They've finished 30 lengths in front of Ocean Hawk in third, followed by Paddy's Return fourth. Further back then is Shooting Light. Castle Sweep battling on, then Ansem and Turnpole, and Mr. Percy unfortunately taking a very, very heavy fall at the last. But the winner is number 9, Princeful, owned by Robert Hitchens, trained by Jenny Pittman and ridden by Richard Dunwoody, has outstayed them. A fantastic performance. Second, number 4, Deano's Beeno, owned by Axum, trained by Martin Pipe and ridden by Tony McCoy. And third, number 6, Ocean Hawk, owned by Matt Archer and Gene Broadhurst, trained by Nigel Twiston-Davis and ridden by Carl Llewellyn. Paddy's Return was 4th, but Castle Sweep finished 5th. But what a fantastic staying performance by this very, very game horse. This 7-year-old by Electric. His name is Princeful, and he's already proven a champion at Cheltenham, and he's maintaining that form this season.
A horse full of class. He stays forever. We've got our 2 top jockeys neck and neck here, but Tony McCoy had set out to destroy this horse, and he almost did it.
Yeah, terrific race, as you say. I mean, 2 jockeys that have ridden 2 perfect races. Tony McCoy won't quite think like that because he's got beaten, but his pace setting in front was absolutely exemplary. Set off at a good gallop, eased up, quickened up from Swinley Bottom. Dunwoody's timing from the last was equally as good as McCoy's front running. He's challenged the horse when it's at its tiredest, hasn't got there too soon, jumped the last really well and worn him out just for a neck on the line. I suppose, to be fair to Deano's Beeno, even the great Martin Pipe would say he will improve for a run of over a year off, but it